And it's now 9:30, and that means it's time for Tillamook Today with our guest host this morning, Stacie Zuercher. Good morning, Stacie.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, and welcome to the Tillamook Today show. This is Stacie Zuercher from Northwest Senior and Disability Services, and it's a bright and sunny day out there. I needed it. So this morning I have Ginny Gabel from Adventist Hospital here. Welcome, Ginny.
Good morning, Stacie. I love being in cahoots with you.
Oh, we have fun, don't we?
There's a lot of energy that comes from Stacie, everybody. A lot. If you don't know her, wow.
I get that a lot. Wow, what do we do with you? Well, so what's been going on at the hospital?
Well, as many people know, Stacie and I work on a lot of programs together, but we each have some that we work on ourselves. And coming up, as many people have heard, is my CHIP program, which stands for Complete Health Improvement Program. And we start that in just a little over a week. It begins on March 28th. So let me tell people a little bit about what that is. Shana has been through it, so they've heard about it from her. And
I've seen feedback from so many people that it's wonderful. I'm excited that we get to keep doing this several times a year.
Yes, this would be program number 19.
Wow.
Since we started in 2005. And what it is, we provide an environment where for 5 weeks people get to make some lifestyle choices that and changes that their doctors have been saying, you know, you really need to. And we all have that blank that we fill in differently, lower my blood pressure, eat better, get more exercise, look at my diabetes that's creeping up on me, lose weight. The list goes on. And each one of our listeners know what their chronic issues are. And, okay, how am I ever going to do this? Well, we kind of provide an environment where they do that. We start by doing a screening at the beginning. So that's on Friday morning, February 25. If someone can't make that, we rearrange a time where we draw blood, get weight, blood pressure, those basics.
Okay.
We give you breakfast because we want people to come fasting.
Sure.
We're going to repeat this screening at the end of our time together and see what changes over 5 weeks we've made in our weight, our blood pressure, our blood sugars, in all of those things. And then we start Monday night. Now, we meet a lot because if you meet once a week, and you and I both do classes, and people come the next week and go, oh, I didn't do anything.
You know, my diabetes prevention class, I actually started calling it confession. Because people would come in and be like, I ate the ice cream, you know, and
yeah, we kind of
those moments.
Life gets in the way of our best intentions to make those changes. And so we do a comprehensive, tight little time frame where we're thinking about all the time because we meet on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights.
Wow.
To make it easier, we're going to give you supper. If you're working, come right on over, and we'll spend time together, and we'll have a good meal together. You're going to get recipes for everything you eat. We're going to do cooking demonstrations. Our hospital dietitian is there every night. So if you've said, well, I'd like to ask some questions, you're going to have that opportunity. We watch a short video about 40 minutes long. 3 different speakers talk about chronic disease, motivation, and any doctor tips that are important. And then we do discussion about, okay, what did you learn? What can you apply? What's new to you? How are we going to move through the next few days applying what we're learning?
Well, and I like that it's kind of condensed and,
Yes.
you know, multiple times a week. So you really can, it sounds like the whole idea is to submerge yourself in the program so you really can get it.
Yes. You know, the very best way is to go to a live-in center. And people have heard of Dean Ornish or Dr. John McDougall or other centers where you go for anywhere from 10 days to 3 weeks. And you immerse yourself there and they feed you and they educate you and you do cooking classes and you do exercise walks in beautiful spots. You can even have massage.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of things there and consultation with doctors. And I would say if someone has a chance, go. But they also run between $3,000 and $10,000.
It sounds a little expensive.
It can be.
You had me at massage, but it sounds
yes, and insurance only picks up usually a very little portion of that. So that is ideal. But yeah, like I can't afford to go there, or others may not. So
and
we
this
do
is
it
right
here.
You don't have to take time off of work. It's down the on the corner. Now tell me where you do the classes.
Okay, we do the classes at the Adventist Church in the lower level because we have a kitchen, so cooking, meal prep, all of that, and then the meeting room right there. And there's no steps. It's easy to park and walk right in. And when we can, and the weather's nice, between supper and the program, we take a little jaunt around the parking lot because we know for diabetics, exercise right after you eat, just a simple walk for 10 minutes can drop your blood sugars 10%. immediately.
Really?
So it's very important to try and get these habits started right away. So what I usually see in the 5-week period, and this is typical of every program I've done, 19 now,
That's a lot of people.
a 5-pound weight loss, and we are feeding you. People are saying, "Oh, I am so full. I'm eating so much food. I'm not hungry." People come in saying, "Well, I have to have snacks." But when they start eating different over a period of time, they say, "Well, I'm not really hungry for that." Or I
so it sounds like you're feeding your body the nutrients that it's craving.
Right. Whole foods.
Vitamins. Yeah.
I'm so happy to see people going to fruits and vegetables and more whole grains and more beans and legumes. And I'm not afraid to say this, we will give you a plant-based diet for those suppers. And the reason is a couple of reasons. One, most people know how to cook hot dogs and hamburgers and fried chicken and fish and all this. I don't need to really teach you that, and you don't want to deep fry everything, and people know that. But they often don't know, well, if I was to leave the meat out, how am I going to get my protein? And how do I fill my plate besides peanut butter and jelly or iceberg lettuce?
Starches.
Yeah. So how can I make a healthy meal, maybe once a week, maybe more? How can I move to adding more of those fruits and vegetables, even if I do have a small portion of meat? So it's the meat I don't need to worry about because everyone knows what to do with that.
Right.
It's the other part we want to increase. And I'm not out to get everybody to be a vegetarian vegan. I'm out to get everybody on the bus to eating healthier. The other thing we require is that everyone do some form of exercise every day. So we give you a pedometer. And when you come every night, we say, how far did you walk? And pretty soon there's a little group formed with each table. And so we do a little competition on walking or in the pool. And the nice thing is, Kaylin at the Y, and you and I know Kaylin, he's a great new Y director. We partner with them, and we get unlimited use of the Y for the period of the program.
Wow, that is
the
amazing.
Pool, classes,
he
the weight room.
To our community.
Yes, and we've been doing that for 5 or 6 years. So our participants get to have a place when it's rainy or just to explore what is there and what I use it. They get used to that. So we're encouraging activity.
Especially this time of year. We have this beautiful day today, but it's been so rainy that you have to find an indoor idea, and we were just discussing recently, Michelle Yank and I, that some people go, oh, I don't want to spend $50 a month or $40 or whatever it is at the Y for their membership, but they go to Starbucks and grab a coffee every morning for $3 or $4,
That could pay for it.
You probably learn through this program, it's a little checks and balances because there's a perception that eating healthy is more expensive, but you can really make it stretch.
To change your kitchen over, yes, you might have to pull out stuff, but in actuality, you're going to be paying less and eating better when you go to Whole Foods. And I'm not even talking organic foods, although that's an option if you feel. We talk about the clean and the dirty, which ones are better to buy. But you just learn how to eat healthier food, more fiber, which fills you up, and lose the weight. And many people come back saying, I didn't lose a lot of weight. Maybe they had a big goal, but my clothes are fitting better. My head feels like I can think clear. I can focus on things.
Better
I have
sleep.
people saying I'm sleeping better. I don't have that regurgitation going on through the night.
Oh, yeah.
It just tends to go away. And the big thing is I see a lot of people say, my arthritis is not as painful. I'm moving my limbs better because I'm eating less inflammatory foods. So we don't talk about directly, but people are finding that's a good choice.
And what I love too is that you do blood draws and all kinds of screenings, and I mean it's really comprehensive. The program.
It's fairly comprehensive to get people going, and yet not too comprehensive to say I'll never be able to do this. Because you're with a group of people, and I've seen people say, I just moved to Tillamook 3 months ago. I know no one, and they leave with 25 new friends.
Oh yeah. So there's that social element too.
And when you're done, it's easy to say, well, that's the end of that. But we meet every month, third Monday of the month. Everyone can come to our club chip. We have a potluck, so people bring food.
But maintenance.
Yes, and we do health talks. And it doesn't matter whether or not you bring the food, because I have people that come and throw in a little donation for the program, or people just come. I just want everyone to come. I don't want any financial burden to keep people from getting healthy. And that goes for the price of the program. I talk to people individually about what their needs are and what they can pay, and payment plans and paying by credit card. Whatever you need, I will work out with you. And that's the support I have from the hospital.
I love how passionate you are about this program. It really kind of bubbles off of you when you're talking about it. It's great.
And you give out the same on your programs, I know, and the things you do. And it's fun to be able to get people energized and see them say, I am feeling better.
Yeah.
And I can do more with my family, and that's the big thing.
Well, and this is a great time to get started. And as you were saying, having it in the evenings after work, how long? It's an hour?
Well, we start at 5:45 because we're going to have supper.
Sure.
So we have that meal together, and then we start at 6:30 and run to about 8:15.
Mm-hmm. So you really can get a lot of great information.
We do a lot in that time period, and we're not just sitting. We're up moving too. We're watching the cooking demonstrations. We're interacting with each other too.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
So what people can do is just give me a call. I've done a couple information sessions, but I can give you more information, and we can get you signed up. It's not too late.
I
sometimes have people saying on Monday, can I still come tonight? Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm all about inclusion.
That's great. And 19 sessions altogether.
Mm-hmm. We started in 2005, so 11 years now.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I've had about 440 people from Tillamook go through.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice to know there's a big group out there. You sometimes say, well, no one else is doing this. Oh, yes, they are. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad the Year of Wellness is encouraging people to make those lifestyle changes. You know, we're living longer, but we're not necessarily living better.
I know. It scares me, and I just read something about the next generation will have a shorter lifespan because of the diet. You know, really, it's focused on diet and movement and all these things. And so the Year of Health and Wellness has been great because we're trying to come up with ideas, and you're a part of that. You're on the task force, and you're really focused on nutrition, right?
Nutrition and exercise. It goes together, yes.
So the goal is to not just have these programs and go, okay, 2016 is the great year. We're going to have the Year of Health and Wellness. And then 2017 comes and we all go back to our, movie marathons on our couches.
Yes.
We want some sustainable
keeping
programs.
Keeping our thumbs in shape, yes.
Exactly. And then you also have some passion for people with diabetes. There's a diabetes coalition.
There is a diabetes coalition, and Sue Phillips Myers is our dietitian at the hospital. She sees
Who's great. I just love her.
She sees all the outpatients, and Chip helps with diabetes and heart disease and cholesterol and a lot of chronic disease. So in a minute, I'll tell you more about diabetes.
Yeah, I just realized, I just get to talk and I get so engrossed in what we're discussing that I forgot I have to do a little ad. So March is National Nutrition Month, and nutrition experts at Tillamook Regional Medical Center are ready to help you improve your diet. Getting vitamins, nutrients, and minerals the body needs is important to maintaining health. Eating at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day can help prevent chronic disease like diabetes, hypertension, and obesity, all of which are linked to heart disease. Boost the amount of leafy greens, citrus fruits, and berries you eat. Eating a handful of nuts, legumes, seeds, oats, or whole grains each day is also beneficial to your health. Cut out soda, potato chips, pastries, and other foods high in sugar, fat, and carbs that can lead to high blood pressure, blood sugar, weight gain, and inflammation. In addition to eating well, try to get at least 30 minutes of daily activity to keep extra pounds off the tummy and fight chronic diseases. To find out more, talk to the experts at Tillamook Regional Medical Center. They are committed to the health and wellness of our community. And again, if you're just popping in, this is Stacie from Northwest Senior and Disability Services, and I am here with Ginny Gabel from the hospital. And we just had a really great talk about the CHIP program, and what I'm reading this and I'm thinking about this ad and all these things, eating healthy, cutting out soda, exercising more. As we said, that CHIP program really helps you do that.
It will. It will give you that environment where you can actually pay attention to making those changes and learning things at the same time. I don't know how many people come in and tell me, I eat really good already. And they sit through the talks and they go, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I guess I don't.
And we're conditioned to a lifetime of our behaviors. And we have all these messages, eat eggs, they're good for you. Don't eat eggs, they're high in cholesterol. Do this, do that, do this. And so really being able to get some good information, and it doesn't have to be, here, do all these 10 things and you're going to be healthy, but like really teaching you and supporting you.
Our program does a lot with research to show you why, the research behind what's coming out, because there's a lot of research out there that is not necessarily good. It's sponsored by a company that wants to promote their product or their food. You don't hear a lot of ads about broccoli and beets and pears, and yet that's such a good...
Or if it's broccoli, it has a bunch of cheese on it. Not that there's anything wrong with cheese, but it's all about portions, right?
It's all about being careful and deciding for yourself what's going to be good for me and what isn't. So we try to... Our program is all based on research. It's been published in 20 peer-reviewed journals. That means physicians and people in the medical field are reading these journals. I recently had someone call me and said... my doctor has recommended the program, and I really need to be in it. She was in my daytime program in January. She was out at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and they told her she needed to take the CHIP program. She was actually from here, from Tillamook County, but she needed a specialist for another issue, and they told her, you need this program. And she said, where do I find one? And she got on the website, finds there's one in Tillamook. Comes home and comes to the program. I mean, that was mind-boggling for me, but it is a program that's around the world and around the country. And
I love the resources and access to these great programs here in Tillamook. And that continues to grow year after year. You do. We were just getting started talking about the diabetes program that you guys do in the coalition.
And so the diabetes program is just 4 weeks. It's with Sue Phillips-Myers, and she's going to teach nutrition. She does cooking demonstrations. It starts on March 31st. That's a Thursday evening here in Tillamook at the hospital. And they'll cover everything about diabetes, blindness, number one cause, diabetes, amputations, number one cause, diabetes, loss of feeling to your feet and legs, diabetes.
It's scary.
1 in 3 people by 2020 will be a diabetic. 1 in 3. So I can see 3 people in the station here, and one of us, by those odds, will have diabetes. And people say, well, once you're diabetic, always. That's true. But lifestyle is the biggest protector and the biggest thing you can do to reduce your risks when you have diabetes.
Well, and I think at times some people have a sense of hopelessness. Oh, I have this diagnosis now. I'm going to be on insulin. I'm going to feel crummy. I'm going to be, moody. Your friends call you moody, whatever it is. And so these are some really good resources to help.
I'll never be able to have the foods I like again, which is so wrong.
Right.
But we may need to tweak those foods to be healthier.
Yeah.
So Sue will go through all of that in the 4 weeks. There is a small charge because she's going to give you a textbook, a pedometer, food samples, the class itself, and many insurances cover that. So just give her a call. Call the hospital and say, I want to talk to the dietitian. You also get a one-on-one visit with her. And insurance covers these things.
Wow.
So that's Medicare. So let's get you in there.
It's hard to find a reason not to participate.
That's right.
Make the call.
Right.
Yeah.
And let us help you work that through and get the information so that you can turn your life around and really enjoy it and feel good.
Fantastic.
There's always money in your pocket too when you're living healthy. And
that, less doctor bills and hospitalizations.
You may have insurance that pays the doctor bill, but you're still paying a copay, and then prescriptions are written that you can maybe lower. Our programs always are health education. They do not replace doctor visits.
Sure.
That relationship is really important. But we have some other stuff coming up that's exciting.
Tell me about your docs. The doctors doing this presentation.
We are going to start a monthly presentation by our doctors. They'll be held at the hospital in our conference room on 3rd floor. The first one is going to be, I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show Doc Martin.
I haven't, but it caught my eye.
We got our own Doc Martin here in Tillamook, only she's nothing like the TV one.
Yeah.
She is Dr. Irene Martin. She's a family practice physician, and she's very personable and loves her clients. And on April 26th, so you're going to hear more about this, Tuesday night, she's going to talk about fever control, helping parents to know when do I need to worry about a child's fever, what are some things I should do, it's very important. That's a first-line assessment that my kid is sick and has a fever. And I don't know how many times the doctors have told me, I asked them what the temperature was, and the parent doesn't know because they don't have a thermometer. We're going to give out thermometers. Okay,
wow,
what
great.
A useful tool. But
especially for new parents that really don't know the rules, and how to do it.
It's surprising how parents will have kids that are 6, 8, and 10, and they don't have a thermometer. And so we're going to give out the thermometer. You're going to get some great information. It's at the hospital at 5:15 to 6:45 on April 26th.
Neat. That is
and
fantastic.
that's going to become a regular thing. So you'll be hearing more about that and about meeting our doctors.
I love these programs because you're giving the information, but you're not just saying, hey, you need to work on this and here's your 5 things you need to go do, but giving them the resources. If you're part of the CHIP or diabetes program, having a pedometer so you can, really record and set goals. You go and learn about fever control for good health care for your children. You get a thermometer. Like, it's really, right. I love the follow through and the thoughtfulness in these programs.
No, I know that people are going to say, well, I just got off work. We're going to have refreshments so they can get something to eat. But we feel like if you go home, you don't come back out. So we're going to work on having them right after so you can come and find out from the doc what you can do.
Well, I've got one more little ad here. Mark your calendars. April 1st is rapidly approaching. And what is special about April 1st, you ask? Of course, it is April Fool's Day, but it is also Rosenberg's 10-year anniversary. That's right, it has been 10 years since they bought the store. So in appreciation of all the customers that have shopped there and continue to shop there, they're having an anniversary bash. Hamburgers, hot dogs, pop, cake, and much more. And what makes this anniversary celebration special is all the free stuff. I know what you're thinking. Rosenberg's and free stuff sometimes is an oxymoron, but it's true. All day Friday, April 1st, stop by and fill out a ticket and put it in the bucket. They will draw tickets throughout the afternoon. They'll be giving away a 6-tool Milwaukee cordless combo kit, a Craftsman 2800 PSI pressure washer, and a lawn cart loaded with soil and tools. There will be other items as well, so stop by and see. The following weekend is the Home and Garden Show, and if your name wasn't drawn on April 1st, it will go into the bucket for the grand prize, a $1,500 Rosenberg gift card. They'll draw it and other prizes at the show, and Lowton says thanks for 10 great years. Build it, plumb it, wire it, paint it. Rosenberg's Builder Supply in Tillamook. Wow, that's fun. And it's spring's coming. We've got to think about gardening. So how wonderful for Lowton to want to give back to the community and celebrate all of the wonderful customers that go in there and get what they need.
And isn't the remodel inside beautiful?
It's beautiful. Really nice. And I was talking about it recently. I need all the people that work there are so helpful because I walk in with the deer head in the headlights look every time. Like, what do I need? So they're really wonderful, and I love that they're giving back to the community. So this is Stacie at Northwest Senior and Disability Services, and I'm here with Ginny Gabel if you're just tuning in. And we have covered so much great information with what's happening through the hospital, but we have not yet talked about the Alzheimer's presentation that's coming up here.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of people out there that are stuck in their homes, maybe listening this morning, who are caring for or who have dementia issues. Mm-hmm. The Alzheimer's Association is really good on education, so they are coming down for 3 presentations. The first 2 will be one in April, one in May, and they're coming to the libraries where we're holding it on April 27. That's a Wednesday from 12:30 to 3:30. They're going to have 2 presentations. They're going to talk about conversations about dementia, just a basic. What are we dealing with here? Because sometimes we get the wrong impression or wrong information.
Right.
And then they're also going to talk about the basics, memory loss, dementia, and Alzheimer's. Now, Alzheimer's is one of the dementias.
Right.
There's like 100 causes for dementia, vascular and nutritional, and a lot of causes.
Sure.
Alzheimer's being the most common. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to talk about all those basics. And, you may say, oh, yeah, I've kind of read about it or heard about it. But I really think it's an opportunity for everyone, because the numbers are growing by leaps and bounds.
Well, and educating ourselves about what to look for if we are, have a parent or a friend or, just know some seniors, if we work in the community and say, boy, Mrs. So-and-so she's really changing. What do I do? And what should I look for? Very important.
And to have the myths destroyed that, I forgot my keys, I must be getting Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Because we live such busy, stressful lives. There are things we don't have to worry about. Signs and symptoms of it, we may say, well, that means I'm getting it. Not necessarily. Mm-hmm. So to get a good diagnosis is important, and to find out the true things to worry about versus what you don't worry about.
Sure.
So are...
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're going to come also in May, May 18, and they're going to talk about understanding the late stage. Mm-hmm. So that'll be important too, and then they'll be back in June with another topic we haven't actually decided on. So I'll be interested in people's questions and what they're wanting to, the learn for the third topic.
And there's a lot of people here that in this county that are affected by some form of dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will be a really good opportunity for people to get more information. And you know, the hospital does their support group.
Yes, we have that. In fact, it's next week. The nice thing is we have the support group during Wellspring. Now, people may not know what Wellspring is. Wellspring is put on by Faith in Action, which is a volunteer group that the hospital supports. Faith in Action puts volunteer help in homes, maybe for friendly visiting, to take someone to get groceries, a variety of things that someone who is at home and needs a companion for a short time so that their caregiver could get out to a doctor's appointment, a hairdresser, whatever. So they'll go in the home. They've done a lot of things like repairing steps, building ramp. Molly Redding is in charge of Faith in Action.
She's great.
And so they do things in the home, but sometimes it's good to get a day away. So Molly Redding and Carolyn Betlinski work with volunteers to offer 1 day a week, 4 times a month, of respite for people caring for their loved one. And they come to the Adventist Church lower level, and they come from 10 to 4, they can leave their loved one, and their loved one gets home-cooked meal, well, a church-cooked meal.
Sure.
Yeah. But they get a very healthy meal, and they get activities, games they play, music they do,
I
lunch.
have to say, I stopped by there this last Wednesday, and they were first of all, the volunteers, there were 5 or 6 volunteers there. They were all very engaged. They were supporting and giving assistance to the participants, and they were they were planting little plants, flowers, and it was so cute. You know, everybody had big smiles on their faces and had something to take home with them at the end of the day. And Carolyn was talking about they do exercise. They have discussion groups. They have these crafts and exercises, music. I mean, really a nice, fun, comprehensive program. And it gives the person who otherwise might get a little isolated being home an opportunity to go out and have some fellowship with other participants. And, you know, the Northwest Senior and Disability Services has the Family Caregiver Support Program, and that actually partners with Wellsprings. This is one of the many programs we do together, in which I have respite money. So if you're a family member or a friend caring and responsible for somebody that has a diagnosis of dementia, or really has, you know, there's several criteria outside of dementia as well, but and you need some help with respite and supplemental services for equipment, all those kinds of things, we reimburse Wellsprings for those visits, so that way, if I'm caring for a family member and I need to go to my own doctor's appointments, and I need to go grocery shopping, and I just want to take a nap, you know, we can cover that, so that way you have an opportunity to take care of yourself too, because so often those caregivers, you know, it's a thankless job, it's a 24/7 job when you're caring for someone with dementia, and that program's really, really important.
And we should say there's a small charge of, I believe it's $30 for the day. But where can you find 6 hours of respite for $30 that helps to defray some of the costs? But we will not turn anyone away. We'll help them connect with resources so they can be a part of it.
And exactly right. I can help, you know, and Molly just bills me directly for some of the participants if they qualify for the Family Caregiver Program, so that way that's not going to be a challenge. So.
And we think a lot of the caregiver, but you know, the care receiver who comes to Wellspring may need a break from their caregiver.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My mother went there for many years, and she got a nice break. And while we do that Wellspring, on the 4th Wednesday of the month, we do our caregiver support group from 10:30 to 12. So they can leave their loved one and come into the support group, same location, just another room.
Neat.
And I want people to know that they are welcome to come to that.
And that
caregiver
support group, is it specific to Alzheimer's or any caregiver?
Probably more people have Alzheimer's, but it's for caregivers.
Good. Neat.
So we would welcome anyone to come and be able to talk and share in a private, confidential place and get a little frustration off their chest.
Sure. Troubleshoot problems, all those kinds of things. Well, Ginny, thank you so much for being here today. It's always such a pleasure working with you and talking with you. We come up with so many neat ideas and have all these wonderful things happening in Tillamook. So sponsors today for the program were Rosenberg's Building Supply and Tillamook Regional Medical Center. Happy birthday to Marlene Tuthill. And Monday, Lisa will be back with Tillamook Electronics. They have a new owner, Jesse New. Senior meals, noon every weekday at the Kiwanda Community Center in Pacific City. The cost is $3 for seniors and $6.75 for everyone else. Senior meals also take place at 11:30 a.m. at St. Mary's by the Sea in Rockaway every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Plenty to do tomorrow. From 10 to 3, there's a scavenger hunt at the Garibaldi Maritime Museum. There'll be prizes for successfully completing Captain Gray's challenge. That sounds fun. And from 4 to 7, you're invited to an all-you-can-eat spaghetti feed at Fairview Grange. Live music from 5 to 7 by the Eric Sappington and the Gospel Trio. After you finish eating spaghetti, you could head to Pacific City for the second annual South County Pie Day at the Kiwanda Community Center, a fast and fun pie auction followed by all the pie and ice cream you can eat. And the 7 p.m. event is a fundraiser for Food Roots, the Nesco Inn and Pacific City Farmers Markets, and the South County Food Pantry. Doors open at 6:30, and $10 gets you in the door. Well, thank you again, Ginny, for being here, and thanks to Tillamook. Have a wonderful weekend.